And welcome back. As you can see, entertainment reporter Morgan Hoffman joins us now, and I know you were super excited for this interview.
Yes.
Morgan got to catch up with Josh Hartnett, who is one of the leads in the upcoming film Trap.
Yes, you have to understand, I'm a millennial, so I grew up with Josh Hartnett at like the height of his fame when he first came into the Hollywood scene with Halloween H2O and The Faculty. So this is a big deal for me to interview him. But yes, so he's starring in a new M. Night Shyamalan psychological thriller where he plays a serial killer. There's no twist. We know right off the bat he's a serial killer, but he gets trapped in a concert and he has to figure out a way to get out of this concert and all the police that have enclosed this area. It's really interesting. Take a look.
Guys, what are you doing? You're acting weird.
This dude is next level insane.
Serious question.
Yep.
How much did you practice the creepy smile in the mirror? Because you perfected it.
Thank you. What it is ultimately is like, it's just a combination of two things. It's like, and I'm not like an actor who like preps faces or looks or anything like that, but really what it comes down to is like, the guy is like simultaneously trying to convince the person in front of him of something, and something behind the eyes is very murderous. So like there's that's ultimately gonna come across pretty creepy.
So creepy. What does your family think when the trailer came out and they saw that face?
My mom was so upset. My mom was like, "You're playing a bad guy?" Because she wanted to bring her sisters, and like she wanted to have like a big party, and she did that for Oppenheimer, and she had a great time, and everybody was like, "Oh, Josh is great." And now that she's like, "I can't do that for one where you play a serial killer. This is horrible." Because I didn't tell her beforehand. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think what's fun for me too, I mean, I've been a fan of yours since Halloween H2O, The Faculty.
Yeah.
So now like 20 plus years later, flipping the switch and we get to see you play the bad guy. Is that fun for you playing a character like this?
Playing the bad guy is always fun. Like I kind of got a taste of that in the Black Mirror episode last year.
You were good in that.
Thank you. And you get to explore things you don't get to explore just playing a good guy all the time, because murder's rage is not necessarily something that they have in abundance. But now, in this guy, it's also fun because you get to play off of years and years of people playing characters like this, and you have to find your way to play something a little bit differently. I hope that this character is different from other ones that have been there.
Was there characters or people that kind of inspired this a little bit, or were you going original?
The opposite. Yeah, like I was trying to not do it like anybody else. Cool. And really my research just had to do with reading books on guys who are in prison right now who did a lot of this stuff. And how charming they are, and like people are taken by them, and like it's a weird thing, psychopathy.
I can only imagine even just getting in that headspace. Well, aside from the serial killer tendencies, so much of this movie is about a father and a daughter and this bond that they have. How much, as a dad of 4, could you relate to a character, those aspects of this character?
Very much, but I also had to take those weren't just straight playing someone who's a dad like me, because it's all a cover. So his experience of that is not necessarily love like you or I love. It's more like it's some sort of elaborate game that he's playing that he kind of likes going as close to the flame as possible. So like once we start to kind of see this police presence and everything, he's enjoying it more and more. And the rest of us, if like the police were coming to take us away, we'd be scared. He's not scared of it. He's sort of taking it in, and he feels ultimately honestly, this movie, if you just want to look at it very simply, is about like a serial killer learning to love. Like it's the first, he like comes to this realization at the end of the film, where he recognizes like something in him that he needs from his daughter. And I found that weird journey kind of, I mean, it's so unique. It's so unique, and for an actor, like being able to play a unique role is everything, I think.
Speaking about unique, M. Night, every movie, something different. Just when you think you kind of know what he's going to do, you don't. What was your favorite thing about working with him?
Honestly, I've been a fan of his since Sixth Sense. I've been watching his movies from at theaters ever since they came out, and I met him at the Village premiere 20 years ago.
Yeah, I love The Village.
I had a friend who was in it, and they invited me to the premiere. I got to meet Knight. He actually gave me a picture at the end of shooting that was the moment that we met. A paparazzi took a picture of us when we were shaking hands for the first time. Me, him, and his wife was right there, and now we're all friends. It was just kind of amazing. And yeah, I mean, so being a huge fan of his and following his whole career, for him to just like be interested in me for a role, I was immediately sold on the concept. Like, yes, I want to work with Knight. And then I got the script and was like, oh my God, like this is going to be really tough to pull off.
Yeah.
Because we got to, we have to bring people along for the journey, even though this guy's terrible.
Okay, looks great, but question for the both of you: if you were stuck in a concert, whose concert would you most like to be stuck in?
Ooh. Well, we just had AJ McClain on the show, so I'm going to say a Backstreet Boys concert.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, fair.
Okay. Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Really good one. So, yeah. And no surprise, I think, for anybody that watches our show, Keith Urban.
Keith Urban.
Yeah.
You guys are the country. I like it.
Yes, that's right. We are going a little country on this. Yes.
I think you're such a fan that Keith would be like, we got to get this guy out. Like, somehow, can we like
you out?
I have been guilty of not leaving Keith Urban shows.
Oh, you're that one.
Yeah.
Love that. So yeah, this movie was just a lot of fun. A lot of people are saying this is Josh Hartnett's comeback. The past couple of years, he was in Oppenheimer, that won Best Picture at the Oscars. He was in a really creepy episode of Black Mirror recently. So to see him in this, I'm such a big fan. So it's so nice seeing him in all these films and new projects. And you can catch Trap in theaters on August 2nd.